This last segment of just 15 minutes is really focused on some crude practical items that I've found useful in my practice for educating asthmatics. Some of them are specific to our EPIC computer program, some of them are not. So I'm going to start with a few things that you might find helpful even if you're not on EPIC. You may have picked up the toolkit outside, and just to reiterate, this is online on the Pennsylvania Asthma Partnership website as well. It has in it all sorts of very helpful patient handouts. You may photocopy as much as you like. It also has in it some blank asthma action plans and lists of resources and websites that patients may want to go to. So that's something that the asthma champion nurse or therapist may want to keep at her desk side. We've provided these around the state also to school nurses. And if you work closely with the school system, that's something that you can be communicating with them about. This family might need a little more help, and which one of you can manage to interact with that family to educate them. I also wanted to encourage you to take the blank Spanish asthma control tests out there. They are available from your pharmaceutical reps. You can print these online, the children's version, the adult version, the English, the Spanish, and I think there's even Hmong or some other languages being developed. But to have a supply of those asthma control tests for photocopying and using on your patient visits, and as Dr. Emmett was trying to say, to try to get in the habit of putting this in the chart right as you see the child and put them on medication, so it's sitting there for the next time that child walks in and is ready to go. Likewise with the standing orders. There is a excellent environmental piece now as part of the EPA program, and I just got a couple of brochures, one's English, one's Spanish, of a disc that you can get for your office from the EPA. And this is actually the Environmental Education Foundation's website that you get this from, but they're working together with the EPA. And they have a whole segment on environmental education, including a one-page questionnaire for families about the home environment that is very complete and helpful not only for asthma but also for other risks like lead, etc. So environmental education is a very big part of childhood asthma management, and making sure you actually have asked these questions. So again, that National Environmental Education Foundation, neef.usa. .gov, I want to say, but if you want to see me afterwards for more details on that. There's also, if you're a little bit perturbed about families coming asking about should their child self-carry their inhaler, I have to say that most of us specialists strongly support the idea that children are in a lot of places besides the house and the school where they may have an attack, and ready access to medications is very important for the outcome from an attack. So how you decide if somebody's ready to self-carry and administer, there's an excellent guideline that was available through the EPA website as well, the National Asthma Education Program, on what are some of the things you need to look at before you decide the child's ready to self-carry. If you're a pediatrician and are a member of the American Academy of Pediatrics, the EQIP people have an asthma module for the office. And actually, one of the things that you'll do in this EQIP EQ-IPP module is select some of your charts and look at systems in your office for getting better follow-up on things like spirometry, action plans, and so forth. So actually, it's going to be very practical. If you're now going to go back and become the asthma champion in your practice, that you could work yourself through this EQIP module, get some CME credit, and use that as a foundation for some systems change in your own office. Now, I do have a few slides that kind of cover, and they're in the booklet, the essentials. Where do I get spacers for teaching patients? And where do I get the sample inhalers like we've got outside? And I'm going to just quickly switch into those. Okay, I thought I was. There it is. Okay, again, most of the written information on our PA Asthma website. And here's some of the other tools. Oh, my apologies. I got to switch back to PC. There we go. Should be coming on. I'm going to go back one slide just to remind you. The PA Asthma website. The asthma toolkit on our website right there. Asthma action plans, several different websites. Asthma teaching kits, that actually refers to the actual toolbox. Last year at this conference, we actually gave you the toolbox for you to carry all that stuff home in. But this year, we're going to ask you to go ahead and get your own plastic bin in the office, put all of those demo inhalers, little posters, little guidelines, put those all in there in one place in the office, so when a patient's coming in, you can quickly grab your toolkit and head to the room and have everything you need. And if you're in Epic, I've actually made you a little laminated card of all of the smart sets that Geisinger Epic people have access to for these letter templates. So besides being in your little booklet, if you want a pocket card, come see me after the talk. Also, I did mention about the CRAMES patient information sheets that we're using here at Geisinger, and you can get those through the InfoWeb. Books and handouts. The Starlight Foundation has some lovely games for kids. If you're working with a family and you're going to do 2 or 3 sessions one-on-one, this is a nice way. You can give it to them after the first session, ask them to play, 30 minutes twice before they see you again, and then you can use that as a foundation for some of the basic knowledge about asthma. What's a controller? What's a reliever? What does an attack feel like? What should I do? They'll cover that at a child's level, but in a way that's much more exciting than just sitting talking one-on-one with your doctor. The Breatherville website as well, www.breatherville.org, is excellent for, again, that user-friendly education, little snippets, not going to bore you to tears, but going to cover the essentials. And this new tool that Dr. Weinstein is talking about looks really exciting, and again, you can access that on the Asthma and Allergy Foundation website listed here, aafa.org. That PAC tool, I think, looks like a really exciting new development. Now, and as well, don't forget this conference will be back online. There's where you get the actual devices from. So Forest Pharmaceuticals assures me, they send a card around to specialists all over the country offering to give you a free aerochamber of each size for teaching purposes in your office. And they don't send these to primary care. And so I did call them and secured that if you call that phone number and that extension at customer service and say you heard about it at this conference, that they will ship you one of each of these. However, at the end of the conference, if you can find the yellow Post-it notes on the bottom of the seat, you can take these home with you today. There are some yellow posties out there in the audience. Peak flow meters you can still get from several of the pharmaceutical companies. I know certainly Genentech and Glaxo have provided me with tons and tons of these over the years. This one's from AstraZeneca. So again, if you need peak flow meters that you would like to be able to give out, talk to the representatives from AstraZeneca, Glaxo, Sharing, Sepracor, and Genentech about that. They also have many of the asthma booklets that you're taking home. And finally, if you're an Epic, Geisinger Health System office of any type, pediatrics, family practice, internal medicine, any type, we are offering you the chance to come to the spirometry lab, and you saw those folks up in the learning station today. Call through this phone number to Mary Ellen Norquist to book it. You will come and get a hands-on 3 or 4 hour session on spirometry, how to do it properly. Then you're going to take home the Spirometry Fundamentals CD that we're giving you, which has got education you can share with all the other people in your office that will be using the spirometer. And when you get a new staff member, you don't have to rush them off to Danville for training. You can use the Spirometry Fundamentals CD to continue their training, give refresher courses to everybody. It's a very nice user-friendly program, and again, it's our gift to you if you'll come to the lab for a day of spirometry training. So finally, how do we take what we learned here and implement it in our practice? Well, number one thing was the willingness to come here, and I applaud you because the more people that stand up and say, I will be the asthma champion in my practice, the faster we can get the information out there. But looking at your own organization, every office is different. What are the barriers that we have in the flow of patients through this office? What are the resources we need? Do we need more room posters? Do we need asthma control tests? Do we need a spirometer? How do I get one? And so on. And then some of the educational barriers that are unique to the patients you serve. There may be language issues. There may be learning issues or reading issues. I've come to be humbled by my annual mission trip to Honduras, where I have to try to teach them in their language, and my Spanish is not that good, at just how simple I have to make it. to get the point across to somebody who's not speaking the same language as me. So we can, Pennsylvania Asthma Partnership is happy to offer you connections to people around the Commonwealth who are doing this. The practices that are part of the Chronic Care Commission have agreed to offer you suggestions about how they manage to make this happen in their practice. And I hope that you will to use those resources and become the person that, I know you know all about asthma now, but that can help fire up your practice to do more.